Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Cousins here from Wakely Properties in Paddington. The title of this video is The More You Know, and it's a follow-up from last week's video about overland flow. And I mentioned in that video that I'd be talking about the different things, easements, encumbrances, caveats, etc. on a title or on a property that you absolutely need to know about when you're looking at buying a property. So one of the really good sites to look at is the Brisbane City Council interactive mapping site. You can put in all different kinds of overlays. You can see if the home was built pre-1946, meaning it might be very difficult or impossible to have removed, depending on the character zoning or character residential zoning. Remembering, of course, that heritage listing and character zoning are two very different things, or demolition protection. So if there's different kinds of easements, you might find that there's an access easement, and if you've got the property at the front of the block, say in the battle axe block situation, then you might have a detrimental easement on your property because it's an access to the property that's behind you. And if you've got the property that's behind you, then that's a beneficial easement for you. Other easements might include stormwater easements or sewage easements, and they might just be as simple as not being able to build over an inspection plate where the council might need access. So you need to be aware of those things before you buy a property, because it might impact whether or not you're able to do the things you think you can do for it. The other things that you might want to consider are the pre-1946 or post-1946, so pre-war, post-war, you'll hear it said. And it's not always obvious, because if it's a late or mid-1940s property, sometimes it can be kind of looking borderline as to whether or not it's a pre-war home, and that's a big deal if your plan is to remove that house and to build a new dwelling there. So really important to have that information. So and even sometimes maybe calling the council. I've always found in my experience that they're really helpful when it comes to things like this. Not everything, of course, but when it comes to trying to work out whether or not you're able to do what you think you can do, they're generally very responsive. So really good thing to do. So always make sure you've done your research before you make an offer, or if you're in a situation where the property is being hotly contested and you don't want to miss out on it, you can always make your offer subject to usual searches, maybe worded as due diligence or something like that. Keep it short. I've mentioned before in other videos that the longer the terms on a contract, the less enticing it's going to be to the owner of the property. So anyway, have a great weekend. If I can help with any of that, I can always check out some information for you. Just let me know. Thanks so much.